Genie grind, I wish I'm getting rich, huh? Remember when I said I hit a lick, huh? I don't really wanna fuck the bitch, what? Willie went and made another hit, okay, like Prada on my motherfucking kid, huh? Louis on my motherfucking hip, huh? Curry how I dunk, no switch, hey, fucker gonna fuck that bitch, hey, if you ain't gon' fuck with me, you a dumb fuck, put up a hit up for that one punch, look at my bank and I'm getting dumb rich, and I'm gonna count it up till 100.
Hello world, I'm What If Studier. Today we are doing a admittedly sad What If. But we won't be going through the motions today, oh no. We'll be going straight into the nightmare. As Deku and the rest of what he remembers of Class 1A before they were all horribly slaughtered in front of him are teleported. As he opens his eyes slowly, as he feels water fall down his face. It was raining. He felt the misty peaks around him, nature encompass him. He almost relaxed his guard before he realized, where's the rest of them? He looks around and sees that most of what he remembered of Class 1A that was still alive being there. But wait, he looks around and sees the dark energy float away. Damn it! He was just here! As Deku was no longer paralyzed by fear from, well, being from the no-mill. No longer was it that. He only knew hatred for Shigaraki, teleporting them all the way over here. Clearly doing this just so that they could murder the rest of them. But why would he leave? As he looks around and sees Bakugo resting on his knee after he had taken a shot to the leg by a gun. Currently, he was being healed up by the rest of the creation quirk heroes, and Deku was searching around the jungle. Jesus, what were we thinking? He sees all of the survivors from the attack just scattered around. Unable to do much, he just wanders around looking for something to eat. After all, many of the kids within the hour start to starve, really. Or at least say that they're starving. After all, they don't really know what starvation looks like. Although the harsh battle that they had just been through, and many of them still mourning some of their friends, all take to the shadows and watch as Deku forms a sort of alliance between him and Bakugo and Katsuki. You know, we have to survive. Whatever. If I get more, just don't whine, like a little baby. I'll survive longer than any of you idiots. This isn't a race, Bakugo. Todoroki comes out of nowhere. Sort of because he was so quiet in the corner, nobody really noticed him for a while. Yeah, whatever. I'm going to take out everything in this forest. I'm so angry at those bastards for taking us out. You have no idea. As his anger seems to boil up inside, as he releases it by heading farther into the jungle. Todoroki and Bakugo, shortly follow afterwards. Unable to catch up with him, they get stranded in the jungle. Each of the trees all carry their own weight with liquid. Each one of them formed specifically for this environment. They seem to be torn away at, or they seem to have seams pouring through them, which would allow water to get to a cup which held it for other species. Although, as Deku tried to cup the water into his hand, Katsuki grabbed onto his hand. Told him don't. I saw this in a geographic once. It pollutes the water with some type of seed that starts to grow in you once you drink from it. As Deku reaches his hands back to his sides, realizing that he is inside of a deadly jungle. He hears cooing around as all these animals of the night seem to disperse and get silent. Except for a small sound as Bakugo and Todoroki and Bakugo both seem to have found each other, as Todoroki had wandered away from Deku. And now, Deku was all alone, out in the jungle as it went silent. A large figure roamed across Deku's eyes, shuddered at the fact what he was seeing was not only just a shadow of a physical being, but of the mass that'd be needed to move something of that size. He didn't turn around. He didn't dare. He gave up everything, trying to hold himself together as he hears a low growl coming from the side of his cheek. He stays utterly still. Heavy breathing could be felt, but he held it until the thing went away. Deku's tears rising up to the surface as he cups his hands to his mouth, beginning his breathing regularly again. He hears an explosion from far away. Bakugo! Oh, fuck! As he falls down onto his hands and starts running straight towards Bakugo, from where he presumes he was. When he runs past the thrashing seeds and the all different types of foliage that scar him from each way, he finally gets to the scene where a massive explosion fragments could be seen. Parts of the foliage completely destroyed. Trees leveled with fire and brimstone. All he can see is that figure roaming across the heights, the mountains. A large winged pterodactyl. Something so horrifying, so massive, he could take out a skyscraper. But modeled after a pterodactyl, how horrifying. It was more like a dragon. He looks up and sees ice coating the ridge of one of the mountains nearby. Deku gritted his teeth. Was there nothing he could do? He readies both of his legs to jump up. His gritted teeth now turns to blood gushing from his hands. God damn it, why am I so weak? I won't be anymore. I can't be. Not when their lives are in danger. As he readies himself up and jumps as far as he can up into the sky. Both of his legs feeling sore, but it was an upgrade from where he was before. Clouds seem to go past him as he sees almost the setting sun. He's now going full speed through the sun set until he comes back down from the clouds, his cleared mind now setting his eyes down onto the peak of the mountain. Oh shit. How would I land? He's like, oh no 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 no, and then he falls straight into the mountain, sort of creating a crater. However, he used a flick to basically disperse the placement of his weight, allowing himself to steady his fall before he was crashing into the mountain. As he does, he gets out of the crater. He feels his left arm sorely destroyed from, taking most of the fall from that. As he walks out of the crater into the glacier that now sat upon this mountain, as he could see Todoroki running around the corner, saying, "That fucking idiot. How the hell? Oh, Deku! You've gotta fucking help me right now. I'm not kidding right now." As he looks and sees Todoroki's left arm completely torched. So he finally used it, eh? As Todoroki's about to say something, and then he's sliced directly, horizontally. His body slides slowly, seeping down, as Deku continues staring at the still almost alive body of Todoroki, now chopped in half, as it falls down to the ground in pieces. Deku now looks up to the new challenger, a pterodactyl with rocky wings, its arched back matching its evil maw. Its entire body seems to be so much bigger than what it was before when it went past him. When it sliced past his body, that was sheer power. It stared now down upon him, its two glaring eyes with gems inside of them. They felt like daggers upon his skin as it stared at him. He knew what superiority looked like, what it meant. He saw burn marks on the sides of it, like it had barely even been affected by both Bakugo and Todoroki. Deku almost stuttered. He tried to open up his mouth. He couldn't give up this fast. All he feels is his arm get numb. His left arm. What? He feels to the left. And he feels nothing. It's like his arm is still there, but it's on the floor. Oh, God. He falls down onto both of his knees. As he looks down and feels his left arm on the floor, trying to touch it with his left arm there, but it's not there anymore. What the fuck? As he continues staring at his left arm, just drenched in blood now, he looks up and sees the pterodactyl still staring down at him, waiting for something. What do you want? As he feels immense pressure, he gets down onto one knee, reshuffling his limbs around, trying frantically to get into some position, but he's losing a lot of blood. He needs to calm down. He needs to sort this out. As finally he gets into position and bows his head to the farthest degree. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Please, just leave me alive. As the just demonic figure closes its eyes for a few seconds and then lifts up its massive wings as it begins to grow and grow and grow. Enough so that Its feet were the size of Deku, almost 50 times bigger than it was before, dwarfing the mountain. It lifts up its massive wings, big as the mountain range, and lifts itself off the ground, creating mini tornadoes. As it goes away, massive air displacement starts to echo throughout the peaks. It activated its quirk. A quirked beast from primal times. What the fuck is happening? Deku realizes that it left. A rain that was there the whole time now starts to cross on his ambient mind. He can't help but snuffle up the tears. Oh my God! I'm alive! I'm alive! As he looks up, finally seeing, picking his face out of the pool of his own blood, he sees the cave that he was left in on the side of the mountain as he walks out to the basically what was made into a balcony from the slash that came from that monster's wing. I'm alive. Rain drenches down his face, pouring down to his arm as he now he puts his left hand over his eyes, trying to cloak it from the storm, although he can't feel it anymore. So I wasn't dreaming! As he looks to his left and sees that his arm is now on the floor behind him. God damn it! Why? As he screams out in the mountain range, only to be met with thunderous storm. Vision was horrible, and all he could see was the slashed up body of Todoroki. Does this mean Bakugo's dead too? Nah, never mind them. I must focus on survival right now. Oh God, I'm so hungry. As he sits there inside the cave, the weather bringing in small amounts of water that seeped through the cave. Out of desperation, he drank from the cave floor. He noticed that it trailed off farther into the cave. So far down, when he started to follow it, it went farther and farther into the cave. It seemed to be an infinite myriad of just explosions inside the cave. Bakugo! As he holds his left arm, trying to not bleed out, he's trying to find better coverage, something. He crawls down a set of stairs almost that seem to be carved out by something probably ancient. So people did live here. Good to know it's habitable. He rips off a piece of his shirt and ties it around his left stub now. He continues throughout the cave until he finds an opening. A large door that seems to be glistened with, gold, but it seems to have been already opened. This massive door has two faces on it, with the eyes of that demon that had killed Todoroki before. He's scared. Maybe those eyes mean something. Maybe they mean that this is where I can get my revenge on that shit. As he opens up the door, using the crack that was already there to open it up himself, although he was very weak at this point, he looks forward and sees a throne room full with gold, so many artifacts, every single one of them kept in supreme condition, helped along by some sort of force field, each one of these artifacts hovering in place with a purplish glow around them, some sort of force field that he presumes is made out of some sort of quirk. A long dining room table that with tens of, pristine seats, all chairs, all lined up on the sides of it until the end one, a throne seat, readied for the king of this jungle. A massive skull that it was carved out of a bird like wyvern. Not of the pterodactyl outside, but perhaps of what he assumed that it was, a dragon. Its massive frame could only be copied by that pterodactyl's size when it had left the region, when it turned into almost as big as a mountain. What was that, by the way? He sits down onto one of the chairs and hears sniveling. Bakugo, as he brings up his eyes once more to try to search for Bakugo. After all, he heard someone around as he sees in one of the other chairs Bakugo sitting there. His whole face seemed to have been scarred. The left side of it had been blasted off. Seems like he used too much. Bakugo was barely alive himself. Unfortunately, it seemed like he was dying, unlike Deku. As they both sat down, kind of in this tomb of where they are soon to die with the storm raging outside, water seemed to leak through the walls. It trickled down to a point on the tiny spears that hung above them, and fed into the goblets, that some tiny ones that sat there, almost as purposeful. That'll be it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Well, I will see everyone someday, sometime. Goodbye.
Genie grind, I wish I'm getting rich, huh? Remember when I said I hit a lick, huh? I don't really wanna fuck the bitch, what? Willie went and made another hit, okay, like Prada on my motherfucking kid, huh? Louis on my motherfucking hip, huh? Curry how I dunk, no switch, hey, fucker gonna fuck that bitch, hey, if you ain't gon' fuck with me, you a dumb fuck, put up and hit him up for that one punch, look at my bank and I'm getting dumb rich, and I'm gonna count it up till 100.